Hey there, this is Samich, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Portal 2. Last time, we escaped from GLaDOS with the help of Wheatley. We ended up replacing all of her turret production lines with defective turrets, and turned off her neurotoxin generator. Then we swapped her out with Wheatley. Wheatley went mad with power, and pushed us into a pit. So, now we're continuing on. We are now actually at the bottom of Aperture Science, way deep underground. Down for miles, as Wheatley said earlier. Keep out. Do not enter. I choose to ignore these warnings. It's a fairly difficult portal to place. I'm not sure if you're actually supposed to be there. I actually think you're supposed to portal up to there instead, but I always portal up to there. Keep out, keep out. Seems like people don't want us to be here. Well, I've never been one to listen to signs. Is it a law that every first-person game requires a big-ass vault? Now, you have to hit these two buttons at about the same time. So, now, as you can see, it had a countdown, so you have 5 seconds to do it. Not all that difficult of a time constraint. That is a big door. Go on. Do not enter. Sealed 6/15/1961. Well, that's a little anticlimactic. Yeah, another loading room. Gotta love the loading rooms. Caution, do not lean on railing. Lots of water. Man, this place is huge. Anyways, that's the way you're supposed to go in. A couple of doors in here that you can't open. Experiment discontinued to test chambers 1 through 200. underground train to test shafts 1 through 8. So nothing else over here, so you place your... When you're done, you just place your portal there. Pull the lever.
Welcome, gentlemen, to Amateur Science. Astronauts, war heroes, Olympians, you're here because we want the best. And you are it. So, who is ready to make some science?
I am.
Now, you already met one another on the limo ride over, so let me introduce myself. I'm Cave Johnson. I own the place. That eager voice you heard is the lovely Carolyn, my assistant. Rest assured, she has transferred your honorarium to the charitable organization of your choice. Is that right, Carolyn?
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson.
She's the backbone of this facility. Pretty as a postcard, too. Sorry, fellas. She's married. To science.
Carolyn. I believe the turret that I will now refer to as the spoiler turret, because it gives you hints for plot points in the future, mentioned something about a Carolyn. Aperture Science Innovators. As you can see, the sign over here says that it was established in 1947. Does that mean anything? No. So what you want to do is you want to go up here, place your portal there, and jump down here. And go in.
There's 1,000 tests performed every day here in our enrichment spheres. I can't personally oversee every one of them, so these pre-recorded messages will cover any questions you might have and respond to any incidents that may occur in the course of your science adventure. Your test assignment will vary depending on the manner in which you have bent the world to your will. Those of you helping us test the repulsion gel today, just follow the blue line on the floor. Those of you who volunteered to be injected with praying mantis DNA, I've got some good news and some bad news. Bad news is we're postponing those tests indefinitely. Good news is we've got a much better test for you. Fighting an army of mantis men. Pick up a rifle and follow the yellow line. You'll know when the test starts.
Shower curtain salesman of 1943, Cave Johnson. Top 100 applied science companies, Aperture Science number 2. U.S. Department of Defense Contractor of the Year runner-up. U.S. Department of the Defense Contractor of the Year runner-up. I wonder what company could be beating them. Shower curtain salesman. Spirit of Idaho National Potato Board for the promotion of potato science. That's interesting. Well, let's move on. Now, start by going up this lift. Caution, do not fall down elevator shaft. It's a very good thing to be cautious about. Now, first thing I always do is go over here. There's an achievement for using these doors and then using a few more doors later on that I'll show you.
If you've cut yourself at all in the course of these tests, you might have noticed that your blood is pure gasoline. That's normal. We've been shooting you with an invisible laser that's supposed to turn blood into gasoline, so all that means is it's working. All these science spheres are made of asbestos, by the way. Keeps out the rats. Let us know if you feel a shortness of breath, a persistent dry cough, or your heart stopping, because that's not part of the test. That's asbestos. Good news is the lab boys say the symptoms of asbestos poisoning show a median latency of 44.6 years. So if you're 30 or older, you're laughing. Worst case scenario, you miss out on a few rounds of canasta. Plus, you forwarded the cause of science by 3 centuries. I punch those numbers into my calculator, it makes a happy face.
I really love Cave Johnson. He's a great character.
I like your style. You make up your own rules, just like me. Bean Counter said I couldn't fire a man just for being in a wheelchair. Did it anyway. Ramps are expensive.
Now pushing this button starts this to start plopping down. And what you're going to want to do is make this go here and here. So you can bounce up here and put it here. And you'll also want it to be here. And maybe here, just to be safe. Now, bounce up. Place a portal here. Back down there, so... You may have noticed the logo's changed from when we were up above. Instead of Aperture Laboratories, it's Aperture Science Innovators.
Alright, let's get started. This first test involves something the lab boys call repulsion gel. You're not part of the control group, by the way. You get the gel. Last poor son of a gun got blue paint. All joking aside, that did happen. Broke every bone in his legs. Tragic, but informative. Or so I'm told.
You are here. Remember, this test is unsolvable without an Aperture Science portable quantum tunneling device. If you have not received one, please find a test associate before participating in any Shaft 9 enrichment activities. Did you know repulsion gel was Aperture's first attempt to create a diet... I don't know that word, and I feel stupid because I don't know that word. Dietetic pudding substitute. It's true. The gel is a sweeter, slightly less non-toxic form of fiberglass insulation. That's awesome. Now, this is repulsion gel, another new thing that was added to Portal 2. Jump, bounce. Always fun. Next, go up here. This button causes that to open, but we need something to put on it. 8xx1. Got it. Now, I don't think you're supposed to do that, but that's how I... No, I missed. Crap. There we go. I don't think that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to wait for it to land, jump back over, portal back up, but I like to take shortcuts.
The lab boys just informed me that I should not have mentioned the control group. They're telling me I ought to stop making these pre-recorded messages. That gave me an idea. Make more pre-recorded messages. I pay the bills here, I can talk about the control group all damn day.
Now, you portal up here. By the way, Cave Johnson's awesome. Every new character in this game is awesome. And you jump over here.
For this next test, we put nanoparticles in the gel. In layman's terms, that's a billion little gizmos that are going to travel into your bloodstream and pump experimental genes and RNA molecules and so forth into your tumors. Now, maybe you don't have any tumors. Well, don't worry. If you sat on a folding chair in the lobby and weren't wearing lead underpants, we took care of that too.
Ah, Aperture, what you won't do for the power of science. So, do what I just did and drop down. Jumping on the repulsion gel causes you to bounce up to this exact height. If you jump from a height, you'll always bounce back at the same height you jumped from. So, jump back over here. Portal over here. Thing on the button. Now that button puts this thing here. I could have just put a portal there, but whatever. Go through the portal, jump, bounce up here. This room's fun. Whee! Cube! The cubes look all old-fashioned-y. Now, this one's exactly the same as the other one. You portal here, jump through, bounce up top, yay!
Oh, in case you got covered in that repulsion gel, here's some advice the lab boys gave me. Do not get covered in the repulsion gel. We haven't entirely nailed down what element it is yet, but I'll tell you this, it's a lively one, and it does not like the human skeleton.
That's reassuring.
All these science spheres are made of asbestos, by the way. Keeps out the rats. Let us know if you feel a shortness of breath, a persistent dry cough, or your heart stopping, because that's not part of the test. That's asbestos. Good news is the lab boys say the symptoms of asbestos poisoning show a median latency of 44.6 years. So if you're 30 or older, you're laughing. Worst case scenario, you miss out on a few rounds of canasta. Plus, you forwarded the cause of science by 3 centuries. I punch those numbers into my calculator, it makes a happy face.
I really love Cave Johnson. He's a great character.
Ha! I like your style. You make up your own rules, just like me. Bean Counter said I couldn't fire a man just for being in a wheelchair. Did it anyway. Ramps are expensive.
Now pushing this button starts this to start plopping down. And what you're going to want to do is make this go here and here. So you can bounce up here and put it here. And you'll also want it to be here and maybe here, just to be safe. Now, bounce up. Place a portal here. Back down there, so it goes there, and jump off.
Just a heads up, that coffee we gave you earlier had fluorescent calcium in it so we can track the neuronal activity in your brain. There's a slight chance the calcium could harden and vitrify your frontal lobe. Anyway, don't stress yourself thinking about it. I'm serious. Visualizing the scenario while under stress actually triggers the reaction.
I love how they were. Aperture Science is just awesome. Very cool company. Screw the rules, they have science.
Now, if you're part of Control Group Kepler-7, we implanted a tiny microchip about the size of a postcard into your skull. Most likely you've forgotten it's even there. But if it starts vibrating and beeping during this next test, let us know. Because that means it's about to hit 500 degrees, so we're going to need to go ahead and get that out of you pretty fast.
Okay, now as you'll see, this water washes away any of the gel. So, what you want to do is you want to bounce up here, turn this off, which shuts off the water, then jump back up. And despite what he said, getting covered in the repulsion gel doesn't actually do anything.
I'm telling them, keep your pants on. Alright, this next test may involve trace amounts of time travel. So, word of advice, if you meet yourself on the testing track, don't make eye contact. Lab boys tell me that'll wipe out time. Entirely. Forward and backward. So, do both of yourselves a favor and just let that handsome devil go about his business.
Okay. Trace amounts of time travel, huh? Okay, so what you want to do is you need to make the goop go on the wall there. Portal there, jump through. now, need to use this goo. Place it there. Then jump through. Easy as pie. Now, to get up here, you need to put a portal there, portal here.
If you're hearing this, it means you're taking a long time on the catwalks between tests. The lab boys say that might be a fear reaction. I'm no psychiatrist, but coming from a bunch of eggheads who wouldn't recognize the thrill of danger if it walked up and snapped their little pink bras, that sounds like projection. They didn't fly into space, storm a beach, or bring back the gold. No, sir, we did. It's you and me against the world, son. I like your grit. Hustle could use some work, though. Now let's solve this thing.
Alright, let's solve this thing. Now, there's an achievement. After you cover this thing in goop, it'll bounce all over the place and eventually break out of this glass. There's an achievement to catch it before it hits the ground. This achievement is usually rather difficult to get, but you can cheat it by first covering it in goo, having it break a pane of glass, and then cleaning it... crap. And then quickly cleaning it off. Okay, crap. Well, I already have the achievement, so that doesn't matter. But if you don't fail like I did, you can have it quickly clean off the goop with the water. And as long as it's still in... Ah, what's that? And as long as it... Did I just break the physics of the water? No. Okay, and as long as it's still in this... little box thingy, it'll work fine. You'll still be able to get the achievement. It's kind of... I guess you could call it cheating, but whatever. Okay, so you bounce up here, place it there, and have the goop bounce on that thing, and it'll bounce all over the place.
Science isn't about why, it's about why not. Why is so much of our science dangerous? Why not marry safe science if you love it so much? In fact, why not invent a special safety door that won't hit you on the butt on the way out, because you are fired! Now you, test subject, you're doing fine. Yes, you. Box your stuff. Out the front door. Parking lot. Car. Goodbye.
Did I mention Cave Johnson's awesome? Because he is. Ah, Cave Johnson. What will you think of next? I think this will be the last test chamber I do. Oh, actually, I'm out of the test chambers. Go me.
Congratulations! The simple fact that you're standing here listening to me means you've made a glorious contribution to science. As founder and CEO of Aperture Science, I thank you for your participation and hope we can count on you for another round of tests. We're not going to release this stuff into the wild until it's good and damn ready, so as long as you keep yourself in top physical form, there will always be a limo waiting for you. Say goodbye, Carolyn.
Goodbye, Carolyn.
She is a gem.
She is a gem. As you can see, you can't get out that way, so what you have to do is place a portal over here, and go through here. Pump Station Beta. This pump station's fun. First, what you need to do is you need to get over here. Then place a portal there. Portal here. Jump in. Gotta love that momentum. Now there's an orange gel pressure control button. Or switch. So I shall press it. Okay, the first thing you're gonna want to do in here is portal up there and go in to this room right here. Now, at first glance, it seems empty, but there's a hidden door. And it has the rest of these
If you're
doors.
allergic to peanuts, you might want to tell somebody now, because this next test may turn your blood into peanut water for a few minutes. On the bright side, if we can make this happen, they're going to have to invent a new type of Nobel Prize to give us, so hang in there. The average human male is about 60% water. As far as we're concerned, that's a little extravagant. So if you feel a bit dehydrated in this next test, that's normal. We're going to hit you with some jet engines and see if we can't get you down to 20 or 30%.
I love these sound bites.
Alright, we're working on a little teleportation experiment. Now, this doesn't work with all skin types, so try to remember which skin is yours, and if it doesn't teleport along with you, we'll do what we can to sew you right back into it.
Oh boy. Now, this is a dock with the Borealis on it. Finding this dock gives you another achievement. From what I understand, the Borealis has something to do with Half-Life 2 Episode 3, but I don't know. I never even beat Episode 2, so... If you know what Borealis means, good for you, because I don't have a clue. And that's all that there is in here. Remember, if you see an orange jumpsuit, hit the red button. Okay. Now that you're up here, you're going to need to place your orange portal about there and jump down.
Greetings, friend. I'm Cave Johnson, CEO of Aperture Science. You might know us as a vital participant in the 1968 Senate hearings on missing astronauts. And you've most likely used one of the many products we invented, but that other people have somehow managed to steal from us. Black Mesa can eat my bankrupt...
Sir, the testing?
Right. Now you might be asking yourself, Cave, just how difficult are these tests? What was in that phone book of a contract I signed? Am I in danger? Let me answer those questions with a question. Who wants to make $60? Cash. You can also feel free to relax for up to 20 minutes in the waiting room, which is a damn sight more comfortable than the park benches most of you were sleeping on when we found you. So, welcome to Aperture. You're here because we want the best, and you're it. Nope. Couldn't keep a straight face. Anyway, don't smudge up the glass down there. In fact, why don't you just go ahead and not touch anything unless it's test-related?
Apparently they've started to hire bums instead of war heroes and astronauts.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Say, you're good at murder. Could you, murder this bird for me? Oh, thanks. Did you feel that? That idiot doesn't know what he's doing up there. This whole place is going to explode in a few hours if somebody doesn't disconnect him. I can't move, and unless you're planning to saw your own head off and wedge it into my old body, you're going to need me to replace him. We're at an impasse. So what do you say? You carry me up to him and put me back into my body, and I stop us from blowing up and let you go. No tricks. This potato only generates 1.1 volts of electricity. I literally do not have the energy to lie to you.
And yet you have the...
Even if I am lying, what do you have to lose? You're going to die either way. Look, I don't like this any more than you do. In fact, I like it less because I'm the one who got partially eaten by a bird.
And yet you still have the energy to slow
I think
clap.
I hear the bird. Pick me up.
Fine.
Wow, you stabbed me. What is wrong with you? Hold on. Do you have a multimeter? Never mind. The gun must be part magnesium. It feels like I'm outputting an extra half a volt. Keep an eye on me. I'm going to do some scheming. Here I go. Whoa, where are we? How long have I been out? That extra half volt helps, but it isn't going to power miracles. If I think too hard, I'm going to fry this potato before we get a chance to burn up in the atomic fireball that little idiot is going to...
And GLaDOS is offline again. Now you jump up here, and this is where I'm going to call it here. Next time, we continue making our way back up Aperture with GLaDOS attached to our portal gun. See you guys then.